how the fact that not only have they traded every single pick that they now have the Bradley Beal contract on the books. They just overpaid Grayson Allen. They still have Nurkic. They have no way to improve this team except for the 22nd pick in this draft, which everyone says sucks. And yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of changes in Phoenix this offseason. And the only way I think that it could possibly happen is trading one of Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. Like, what other option do they have?
They don't. And this is what, like, I think in like at the end of March, I started like looking into like the Suns' finances just like for this exact reason. But my thesis statement was like, there's no way they're going to re-sign Grayson Allen because that would be insane, and they're like the most fucked any team has ever been. Like even the like they have like a lot of their swaps are like double swaps. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not even like just swapping with one team. It's like they get the worst of three teams.
Yes.
And like we were talking about like whether they're more fucked than like the 2012 Nets. And somebody said, well, it's like, well, they do have like some good guys that they can trade, but like so did the Nets had like Brook Lopez, who like was an all-star. And Devin Booker will get you more of a return than that. But outside of that, I mean, like, I don't know, like, what is Kevin Durant, the current version of Kevin Durant, who, like, is old and not as good on the contract that he's on, what is that worth? Like, I don't think it's very much. Bradley Beal is the worst contract in the NBA, like, full stop, because he has a no-trade clause, which is
3 years left.
Yeah, 3 years left. Like, he's
a
not
worse
great.
version of Devin Booker.
Yeah. And they like literally have nothing else. Like they don't even have second round picks. Like the Nets at least had like second round picks. Like a few of them when
no
they
second round picks, lesser, like you said, they got the, and to get the second round picks, they even traded for Royce O'Neal.
Mm-hmm.
They traded swaps to make their pick worse. Like, it's, no one's ever been this fucked. Like, the thing is, like, can they turn Kevin Durant and Devin Booker into something to make it so that the rebuild isn't as horrible? Sure. But they've lost all control of their own personal picks, first and second round picks. And on top of that, like, I've heard people suggest, well, you know, maybe they just trade Kevin Durant to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Jalen Williams and picks. Why the fuck would the Thunder trade Jalen Williams at this point? Like, Kevin Durant will have been traded twice in less than 2 years. He will have been on his fifth team in the last 6-7 years, or fourth team. Like, there's no and he, like you said, he's aging. With every year that passes, he looks a little bit worse in the playoffs. And he's still one of the 15 best players in the NBA, but that's not guaranteed for, you know, any sort of distant future here. Like, we could be looking at him scaling back. I mean, in the regular season, he's still very, very good. But in the playoffs, it's like, I don't think you could count on him as anything more than a second or maybe even third option at this point, because of the fact that anytime he faces one of these really good playoff defenses like Boston or Denver or Minnesota, this is what happens. It's like he kind of disappears. You know, he becomes super jump shot reliant, and you just get physical with him, and he's not nearly as effective as he used to be. So, like, this, I said this, I almost tweeted this last night. If it weren't for Devin Booker turning into prime Michael Jordan for 2 games last year, this would be the third straight year that he's getting swept out of the playoffs, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And I feel like a bozo for being like, it's Kevin Durant 2 years ago, because I didn't factor in the age curve, what it would actually take to get him. And I remember, if you go back and you watch Slopfest 2022, I was like, I'm not sure about this. Like, I was like, and everyone was yelling at me, let's Kevin Durant. And I was like, guys, they just gave up all of their picks. Mikal Bridges, who's really good. Cam Johnson, who's really good. And what other moves do they have to make?
Yeah.
And I actually was fine with the Bradley Beal move, because I was like, what else are you going to do? But to your point, you were right on that one, where you were like, but they can do nothing now. There's nowhere else to go. So but the skepticism from my part on that original trade and your skepticism on the Bradley Beal trade has compounded with the fact that they're going to be so far in the tax, and they just have there are no escape doors. There's no fire exits.
They have like no way, like they can literally just sign like veteran minimums guys. And the other thing is they just signed Grayson Allen because this was the thing I was doing in my finance. I was like, they're not going to be able to re-sign Grayson Allen for a number that he's going to be able to sign
Get
for.
traded.
And then they did.
Yep.
And I am very interested to see what becomes of that, because they're going to end up paying, I don't remember the math totally off the top of my head, but they're like a year and a half.
It's like $40 million a year for that Grayson Allen contract with the tax, right?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So it's basically like, well, this year I think it's 40 million. I think next year it's more like 60 million because I think they enter the repeater next year. So it's like, it's essentially like having Cat, but it's Grayson Allen. You know, like the Cat contract, but just for Grayson Allen. Like, and I don't know, like, if you're Matt Ishbia, like, I just don't understand how they're gonna, because all of their money is like in 5 players. So you like, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna try to give Nurkic away for like cash considerations? That's like one of the only ways they can cut money outside of this. Because
what,
like,
are you gonna attach the 22nd pick to his contract? Like, and
you
need the 22nd pick because you need cheap players.
Yeah, you need any players. You need like any players. You're signing veteran minimum guys. Like, again, like, and I don't know, like even if you like trade Kevin Durant and like let's just like go through the exercise real quickly, because say they trade Durant or Booker.
I think they're trading Durant.
Yeah. So if you trade Durant, like I don't even know what let's say you trade him back to the Thunder. It's not going to be for fucking Jalen Williams. I can tell you that. It'd be like for like Lou Dort and like the 3 of the good Clippers picks, or it's something like that. You know, it would be some sort of money.
Isaiah Joe.
Yeah, you know, it would be like a bunch of really good picks and something else like that. But then you still have all of that money. Like, you still have a very expensive team that just fucking sucks. Like, they're gonna be taxpayers. Like, they can't even, the way that some other teams, like when expensive teams pull the plug and they start like finding ways to like cut money. Like, for example, the Warriors, what they just did with Jordan Poole and Chris Paul, where like Chris Paul's just coming off the books next year.
Right.
Like they got a hold ahead of that Jordan Poole thing, but they're able to do that because they could send a pick. You know, like they're not gonna. The Suns are not going to be able to do any of that. They're going to be able to incentivize anyone to take their money. So they're just going to be like fucking paying the repeater tax for a team that's not going to make the playoffs in a year and a half once they like pay Kevin Durant.
We've never seen anything like
bad.
this.
No, it's so fucking bad.
I would argue if they run this back, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs next year. The West is too good.
Yeah.
They were already the 6th seed with amazing health from Nurkic, Durant. Really the only guys that got hurt this year were Beal and Booker. Like, Grayson Allen was healthy all regular season and had a career year. Like, they had a health outlier year from Devin Booker and Nurkic, and they're in the situation they're in. Now, maybe Beal or Booker are healthier next year, and more importantly, Booker, because I don't even know what Beal has left in the tank at this point. Yeah. But maybe they get a little bit better health luck next year. But if you look at the history, or you look at the Spurs are going to be much better next year. The Grizzlies are going to be back.
Yep.
And then that's not considering every team that was just below them in the standings. What if the Lakers trade for Trae Young or Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah. How about this? What if any of the Rockets guys get incrementally better?
Which seems very likely.
Yeah, and also the Rockets are going to keep getting Nets picks.
Yep.
You know, and you know, people might say, "Oh, the Nets are fucked." No, the Nets have the Suns picks.
That's the only reason why I think that they're not. Okay, yeah. So we just put in perspective, like I said, like I think you're generally fucked if you don't have your own picks.
Yeah.
But the Nets at least have these high value picks from the Suns, whereas the Suns don't even have a pathway to get those high value picks from a team unless they trade Devin Booker. And if you trade Devin Booker, all of those picks are going to be incredible probably for the Nets.
Yeah.
And they should not trade those picks this offseason.
No, they shouldn't. Absolutely
Nets,
not.
I mean.
Because the Suns have no moves. They have no moves, and I'm sorry. I don't think Matt Ishbia is going to pay $300 million for a team that's not making the playoffs. Like, and that's kind of what's on pace to happen. And the only way to stop that from happening is to trade Devin Booker or Kevin Durant for draft picks that you can then use to pay like the Pistons or like these other teams with cap space to take some of this money, so to like cut some of the costs for your like franchise. Like I really think we're going to see some shit like that happen in the next, maybe not next year, because I think it's the year after that the repeater comes, but like I don't think that it's going to be like tenable for them to be in the repeater tax for like any of this stuff. Like I know mortgage money is good, but it's not that good.
Ishbia, if you're listening, learn from the Nets' mistakes. Call Sean Marks and say, we will take Cam Thomas and every pick we traded you for Kevin Durant. We're going to trade you back, but we're not trading you Kevin Durant. So we traded those picks for Kevin Durant. We will send you Devin Booker for Cam Thomas and all those picks.
Ooh.
Honestly?
Yeah.
I would be like, give me the control of the franchise back at a minimum. At least I get my first round picks back. I can trade Kevin Durant for whatever. Bradley Beal, you'll have to wait it out because you have a no trade clause anyway. So have fun with that. Unless the Lakers want to take him for free or whatever. Like,
God, Joe Tsai would do that, wouldn't he?
I think he would.
Yeah.
You get Devin Booker in New York City. You get him back with Bridges. Like, and then you can talk yourself into recruiting another guy with the picks that you have from the Mavs and the Sixers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you go, look, we have the Suns' old core of Devin Booker, Cam Johnson, we'll re-sign Nick Claxton, Mikal Bridges, and then we'll try to recruit one more star. We'll try to keep enough salary to get one more star. I do wonder who would have to be included for salary there, though.
From the Nets perspective?
Oh, Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons. Yeah.
There you go.
Boom.
And if you're the Suns, who cares? You're getting your picks back, so you can tank.
He's also expiring, so that's actually awesome for the Suns. The Suns actually would like that because that solves an enormous amount of their financial problems right there with Ben Simmons expiring like after the year. So
yeah, like I mean, look, if you're interested in Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker,
fuck, this is gonna happen.
Devin Booker's at least under contract for the next 4 years. Like you're and honestly, I think that if your goal, if you're the Nets, is to get a player that can get other guys to want to go play there.
Yeah.
Devin Booker got Kevin Durant to come play with him. He has a lot of friends across the league. Yeah. He's 27, 28 years old. Like, it's not the worst idea in the world if you're I would rather just keep the picks because, oh my God, you might be able to get like a generational superstar with one of those picks, but that's not how the Nets think.